Today I thought I would do a video on how to budget whilst at university. This could also just apply to anyone who is trying to live their life a bit more on a budget. I have 2 years experience of being at university and I think I've picked up a few tricks that I use and follow whilst I'm at university to try and keep how much I spend down. So the main bulk of the video will be to do with food. I've found a lot of ways that save me a lot of money when it comes to doing my food shop, but I will also cover some lifestyle things and activities and general things that you get up to whilst at university. I will say that I think a lot of tips I'm going to give in this video may seem really obvious, but before I'd kind of been aware of them, I didn't really use some of them, so if some of them do seem obvious, I'm sorry, but hopefully some of them you won't already be doing and can use. So I'm going to start off with one really easy, simple tip that can help keep your spending down. So if you have two bank accounts, like a saving account and a current account, what you can do is put all your money into your savings and week by week transfer over however much you want to spend for that week. So for me, I would try to transfer over £50 a week, apart from the weekends where I was doing things. So if I had friends coming down, my boyfriend coming down, then I would kind of give myself a bit more money. But on the weeks where I didn't have too much planned, I would transfer over £50. And this meant I was checking how much I was spending. And I would have some situations where my card would be declined and I'd be like, I've spent all my £50. I'm not going to be able to spend any more for this week. So if any of yous are like me, and what I tend to do is just spend on my card, contactless, I don't really think about it and I won't check my account, then I'll come to the end of the week and I'll count up all I've spent and it is sometimes horrifying, then this is a really good tip. So one section that I think is, a massive deal in a student's life is doing a food shop. Now one major thing for me that will have saved me so much money is go and do your shop at a big supermarket. It's really tempting to just go to like a Tesco Express or a small Sainsbury's and pick up a few bits when you need them, but by doing that, because you're going into the shop so much, you're more likely to pick up things that you don't need, like biscuits, chocolate. And as well, what I find is if you take the time to go to a big supermarket, you can search for really good deals, whereas when you're shopping in the more smaller shops, prices tend to be very expensive in comparison to taking time and going to a big supermarket. For me, I do one supermarket shop a week. This is purely because any more than that and I wouldn't have room to store it. If you are a student, you will know that freezer space, fridge space, you're often sharing, so you need to be careful with how much you buy, and it means that you don't go overboard. If you go to the shop thinking this has got to last me a month, you're going to go overboard. So that kind of leads me on to my next tip, and that would be make a shopping list. Make a shopping list that you will stick to, because again, if you don't, you will panic buy. You will think, oh, I might just get this, this and this, and before you know it, you've spent £100. So another tip in terms of the food shop is do not be tempted to buy things like microwave meals, frozen pizzas, because you may think that you're helping yourself out by the fact that they're quick, but they are so expensive. What I do is I like to bulk make things. I know I talked about freezer space, but if you save your freezer space for meals that you've pre-prepared, you do end up having enough space. So what I'll do is buy some canned tomatoes, which are about 28p I think in Asda. You can also get spaghetti for about 20p. I do my shopping in Asda personally, but any supermarket you can find good deals. And I buy all these things and then I pre-make things. Curries are really good to pre-make. You can find some easy recipes for that. Bolognese sauces, again, really good to pre-make. There are loads of different things you can pre-make and you save yourself so much money. You might think that it takes more time, but you could maybe spend one afternoon pre-making all your meals for the next week. So still on the subject of food, I'm going to move on to being on campus. Now my campus has we've got a Starbucks, we've got a cafe and we've got a canteen, and yes, the prices are cheaper for students, but you could still be spending like £4 to get a sandwich, a bottle of juice and a packet of crisps if you're going to be buying things when you're there. What I always do is bring a packed lunch, pre-make it the night before so you don't have to worry about getting up early and making it, but bring a packed lunch and you will save yourself so much money. As well as this, if you're someone who likes to get like hot drinks on campus, buy a reusable flask and make your own at home. Can taste just as good for a fraction of the price. As well as this, if you're someone who maybe goes to the vending machine for a bar of chocolate midway through an essay, which I know I am guilty of, buy a multi-pack in the supermarket. Same with things like fizzy drinks. I used to go and buy like fizzy drinks from a vending machine and it would cost me a lot of money when I added it up, so I started buying just Asda's own, there's like, I think it was Asda's own like tropical fizzy juice for so much cheaper. And if the thought of bringing things isn't for you, in terms of maybe hot drinks, get loyalty cards. You can get the, I know I have one for Cafe Nero where you get your 6th drink free. It's something really simple, but you do save yourself about £3. I have a Boots card, and the point system on a Boots card is like the best I've found on a discount card. You can rack up your points and then be buying things that you don't have to pay for. It really is great. And I'm not sure if they're doing it like at the minute because I haven't actually been into a Boots in a while, but I know for like the past year, maybe more, they have been running 10% student discount, which does get you good money off. So look if you're better to get that stuff at the food shop or if you're better to get it when you're actually in Boots. So I'm going to move on to talking about more kind of leisure activities. So I'm going to be covering things like going out, takeaways, the gym, all that kind of stuff. So to start off with going out. As a student, it can get really expensive if you are someone that loves going out, but there are really easy tips to save you money. First being pre-drink. Do not go out and buy all your drinks in a club. It soon racks up, and when you're a bit drunk, you'll be buying drinks for other people and you just won't be thinking about the money. And this is something really obvious, I know, but I can be guilty of it just going out. But pre-drink before you go out to save yourself money. Another thing, entry fees. If you get into a club before a certain time, usually, then you can get in for free. I would always try to go out in the week when I'm at university because it tends to be more student-y nights. Drinks are a lot cheaper, entry is a lot cheaper, everything just tends to be cheaper. When you're on a night out, do not be tempted to just get an Uber everywhere. This racks up so much money. As well as this, if you have a bus pass for wherever you're at, just get a bus. I know sometimes Ubers can be safer, and for that reason, if you don't want to walk somewhere alone, that's a great idea. Don't put yourself at risk. I'm not trying to suggest that, but if you're in a large group of people, then just walk. So this is really obvious, but if you do not currently have things like uni days and student beans, get them and utilize them, use them, because you can get some really good deals on things, especially restaurants. I will not really go out to eat unless the place that I'm going to has a good student discount, because you can get some really, really good deals. Places like Chiquitos, Frankie and Benny's, my favourite place to go, Byron, they have really good student discounts. I think they were doing 50% off on Tuesdays. I'm not sure because I haven't been in Edinburgh for a while, but look for places with really good student discount. However, I would say if you're looking for clothes, Depop. Not only is it really good for sustainability and ensuring that you're not buying too much clothing, you can find some really good deals on Depop. You can change the price. What I always do is I'll put the price to be like a £5 if I'm looking for like tops, and then see what's in there, because obviously people are setting prices themselves, so you can actually find some really good deals on Depop. So as well as Depop, charity shops. I love going charity shopping, especially in Edinburgh, because there are quite a lot of charity shops, different areas with different charity shops. You can find some really good deals, and there can also be like home things in here. So if you maybe need like a glass or a mug, look in a charity shop and you will save a lot of money. Okay, so I put this in the kind of leisure activity bit as well because it doesn't really fit in with a food shop, but takeaways. One good tip is before you decide to get a takeaway, ask around your flat if other people want a takeaway as well, because most often places do deals when you spend a certain amount of money. It's like Domino's, I think you spend £30, get 50% off, or places will throw in free things if you have so many people that are purchasing things from that takeaway. So really do try to, when you get a takeaway, have a takeaway night with your flatmates, ask them if they want anything, and you will save a good bit of money. Next thing is, if you are someone that likes the gym, please shop around. Most gyms do student deals, and even better, if your uni has a gym, that gym will most likely be the cheapest that you're going to find. So look if your uni has a gym, see if you like the gym, and then go for it. And as well, if you're someone that doesn't use the gym all that much, you might not actually benefit from getting a membership. So work out whether or not it's cheaper for you to just pay each single time you go, or cheaper for you to pay month by month. So if you have friends visiting, or you're going out with friends, it's tempting to do things that cost money. Like, I quite like doing crazy golf, going to the cinema, all these different things. But it's important to remember that where you are, everywhere with a university will have great free things to do around it. So I'm talking from Edinburgh. The Botanical Gardens, really beautiful. You can spend a whole day walking around there. The Meadows, again, a lovely place to go and have a walk. Walks are free and walks are fun. And as well as this, museums. Most museums should be free to get into, and you can spend a whole day wandering around a museum and it's free, it doesn't cost you any money. Don't be tempted to always do activities that are going to cost you money. Have a look around for things that are free. So as far as I can think of, that is all of the little tips and tricks that I use and follow to save me some money. There are probably many more out there, and I apologise if a lot of these seem really obvious, but I hadn't always followed these things. So I hope that they have been helpful to some of you. Feel free to leave me a comment with any other questions. I'll be happy to help, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.